wasn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure it was the 5th. I wrote
think
it
it
on my
was?
calendar.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So he had opened up to his right brain. Do you want to give him an idea of what happened?
I mean, I don't know how to explain what happened. What I told you was that I had this sensation in my body where I just felt really good to be in my body. And I'm a guy who, I have a tendency to think a lot and to be in my head. And when I had this feeling, I didn't want to think at all. I just wanted to feel this feeling. I was just feeling good. And when I went outside, it sounds weird, but people were looking at me, like kids were staring at me. It was, people reacted to me differently. It was a crazy experience.
And here's what it is. It's called internal awareness, being internally grounded. Now, when you're male and external, that's called push energy. You're literally pushing people away. So if you're looking over there, let's say you're in a club or wherever, coffee shop, it doesn't matter, and you're looking over there in that linear way, right? She's going to look at you, and then because you're looking there, it's going to draw her eyesight over that way. And thus, she's not drawn to you. But when you're internally aware, so instead of being out there, you invert that or revert that, and you put your awareness inside your body. That's why I call it internal awareness. So when someone looked at you when you were like that, Carl, what happened?
They're drawn to you.
Yeah, did they look away or did they stay looking at you?
No, they looked at me, like to the point sometimes where I'm like, do I have something on my face?
Yeah, exactly. And you feel like, in the beginning, like, why are people staring at me? It's kind of weird, huh?
Yes, it was super weird.
Yeah, and all it is people, they look at each other unconsciously, and wherever your awareness, if your awareness is over there, they're going to look here and go ping, and they're going to go wherever your awareness is. So if your awareness is inside, drawn down inside you, not only does it draw them inside you, but it technically it'll draw them inside them. So here's what's happening. When you're in your right brain, which is the internal processor, and I teach you how to do that, is it'll unconsciously pull them over to their right brain. Now, if you're a guy, this is a really good thing because your girlfriend or your wife, it'll trigger a mating system like that because she's looking for a male who is opened up to his right brain. Because now here's what happens. Unconsciously, she opens up to her right brain. And remember, her mating system is triggered there. So it gets triggered. And now she's drawn to you even more powerfully. Does that make sense, Carl?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So what is it that the mating system's ultimately looking for? What is the higher purpose, her mating system? When a man has figured out how to cross over to the right brain, he has broadened his communication. And what does this ultimately mean? Number one, it means you're using both your left and your right brain. Now that's like 10 to the 10th power. It's not 1 + 1 computers. These are two computers, and when they connect, all of a sudden you're like, it's not only that, but we also include the lower reptilian brain. We want all these processors working together as one, okay?
Right.
Carl, from a logical perspective, does that make a lot of sense?
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you're internal, okay, so I've already asked Carl this, so I know he knows the answer, but I'll ask most guys and I'll say, well, like, okay, so you know that women are attracted to leaders. They're like, yeah, well, how do you lead? They're like, well, you just kind of do this and you and get more linear and you get egotistical. And I'm like, no, that's not, you got to be tough. No, you got to be bossy. You got to yell and scream at people. I'm like, no, that's not it either. No.
Do this, do that.
If you want to be a leader, the I, has to be connected to the am, which means your logical brain has to be open to your right brain, which means this space has to be open. So if we use chakras, we want this open, and you want to drop down inside and open this. And this is what it means when women say, how do they say you need to look at the world through your heart? Something like that? Carl G.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, but yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of similarly phrased comments that, it doesn't come to mind right now, though. Sorry.
What I'm trying to say is most men are just out there. So when they go to the Golden Gate Bridge, look at the sunset, they look way out there, which disconnects them from their body, which means they are not mentally and emotionally grounded. It's like your energy is out there and everything here is open and light. So people can push their energy in you and they can push you around verbally and emotionally, okay, or energetically if you want to use that word. And so here's the deal. When a man is internal, now he is a self-led man, which is, again, another phrase. Women are saying, I'm looking for a self-led man, a self-aware man. It's the same thing. There's a bunch of different phrases that are basically saying for a guy who's mentally and emotionally open, and it means he's connected. So instead of this door being closed, it's open, which allows him to drop down into his body. Scientifically, what I'm saying is, you can open up to your right brain, which, again, as I taught Carl, multiple of techniques, which I hope he's still practicing, is it's about opening up to your 5 senses processor, because the right brain processes see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. Well, what does that mean? It means now you're more in tune with what you smell. Now, okay, I don't know, I didn't ask you before, so who knows, but for me, whenever my ex-girlfriend would be like, oh, that's fuchsia, and I'm like, it's pink. Because the male brain, when you're over here, you're disconnected from your 5 senses. But the further you go over here, the more in tune you are, and you all of a sudden tasting that chocolate, this is really delicious. So instead of tasting a little bit when you're in your left brain, the more you go over here, the more you taste the flavor. And all of a sudden you can smell the flower from across the room, whereas for a whole year you couldn't smell it at all because you weren't connected to your senses very well. Does that make sense, Carl?
Oh, yeah. Like when I'm in my right brain, when I can relax into it, suddenly the music that was playing in the background starts sounding really good, and I'm like, how come I didn't notice that before? Or, the things that I'm eating, like, I can taste them. Or the person that I'm talking to, like, I hear the qualities of their voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you a really good example. It's like, I remember in high school I started catching on to this. Some mornings, I had an alarm that was set to the radio. So when the alarm went off, instead of going beep, 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 it was the whatever song was being played by that radio station would go on. And I remember some mornings, like, whoa, man, that song is just awesome. It's just, whoa. But it was a song I'd heard 100 times. Like, oh, I'm bored. That song's not that good. It sucks. But then every now and then, it's like, that song's the best song. And then you turn it up, you're like, yeah. What it really means is you're over in your right brain and you're more tuned in to see, hear, feel, smell, and taste. That's what a woman means when she says, I'm looking for a guy who's tuned in. Right? Same thing with food. You could go to a certain restaurant and have the same meal 10 times. Wasn't very good. But then this one time, you're like, it's the same meal. Like, wow, it's so much better. I've actually gone to the manager, like, did you change something in the restaurant? Like, no, it's the exact same recipe. It's cooked the same way. I'm like, no way. I'm telling you, it's way better. I'm like, really? I had it tasted normal, I'm like, no, this is awesome. It just means you're more tuned in. And all of a sudden, the flavors and colors of life become more vibrant and alive. And really what it does is when you're in your right brain, now, okay, here's another important aspect. It's the social brain. So a lot of guys will go to parties, clubs, even a business party, and they get really nervous and uptight, and they don't know why. A lot of times when I get clients that have massive anxiety socially, it's simply because they're using the business brain, the linear push energy, for social situations. This is the business brain. This is the social relationship brain. And you should be in this brain when you're in a relationship, even if it's a friendship, even if you go to a business after work party. This is the social brain. And a lot of guys are stuck in this brain doing this when you should be like this and internal. Now it allows you to relax, which, Carl, when you're around someone who's relaxed, how do you feel?
I feel relaxed.
What about if you're with someone who's uptight and they're linear and they're external and they're in the left brain is also the judger brain, it's the analyzer brain. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel uptight and uncomfortable.
Same thing it does to women too. So we're just trying to give you an idea of what the course is about and what the book is about. So is there anything else you want to throw in? Because we're getting past 35 minutes here. I'm probably going to cut this up in pieces. Okay. But what else did you want to talk about?
Long.
Yeah.
Well, I do have something I want to say.
No, I can cut this up into 4 or 5 pieces, so I can turn this into very short bits. So, no, we can talk. But what do you want to talk about?
I wanted to say, I took your course and I was so excited about it. And I'm telling people about it. I'm telling guys about it. And they're like, well, what is it? And there's like all the pieces connect to each other. So like, you know, you and I are talking about it, and it might sound like we're rambling because, you know, you start talking about one thing, but then it connects to this other thing, so you got to talk about that, and it connects to this other thing, and then you got to come back to the original point, and then hopefully the person that's listening gets it. And that's why it was so hard to explain to people, especially guys, you know, like, what's it about? They're like, well, just like, what's the one, tell me one piece of it. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's like, it's all stuck together. It's this giant freaking thing that took me, you know, 40 hours or 30 hours of time with Mike to wrap my head around.
Right.
And so, you know, if you're listening to this and you're like, man, what are they talking about? Get the book. Like, the book is a really good start to see how it sticks together. And I've read that thing. I think I'm on my 5th reading now. And, you know, each time I read it, I get a little bit more out of it because I took the course as well. So it's a great refresher for the course. And it kind of, I see more and more of it in the world around me, and the people that I talk to and that kind of thing. But yeah, if you're listening to this and it seems like it's all over the place, don't be disheartened. It is all over the place, but it really makes sense. It's just, there's a lot of stuff to cover.
It's like this. It's like pieces of the puzzle, and I have to teach you this piece in order for you to understand this piece. But I also have to teach you the second piece in order to understand how the first piece works within the whole of it. And then you have to understand the third piece to understand the first and the second piece even better. And then when I teach you the fourth and fifth pieces, how they work, then you connect them to the first, second, and third, and you understand how the first, second, and third work even more. And so that's why a lot of guys are like, well, what is it? I'm like, how do you explain it? It helps you understand women better for the first time. Okay, Carl, can you understand women now?
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd be getting ahead of myself to say that, yes, I understand women, but I definitely
a lot better.
Connect to women, and they feel like I understand them much better than I did.
Right. Well, do you feel like you understand women a lot better than you did before you met me?
Oh, yeah. Like, you know, I'd had so many, you know, I told you I'd read all kinds of seduction and romance and men-women stuff, and there were lots of places.